Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Chucky franchise. Yes, we're done with the child. We're dropping the Child's Play title. From this point on, everything will be using Chucky's name. Because again, kind of like what happened with the Rambo series. Remember when that was called First Blood? Yeah. Back in the day, just like with the Rambo movies, people used to call them Chucky 1, Chucky 2, and Chucky 3. So by the time we got to the fourth movie, they decided to just roll with it. Okay, fine, we'll adopt the Chucky name as the proper title of the franchise from this point on. But no, the Child's Play movies to this day, even the recent remasters, are still just called Child's Play 1 through 3. They didn't do that for this one. So basically, everybody, to recap what happened last time, because they forced Don and his crew to shit out a sequel to the second movie under 9 months, because, that was such a great idea, we got a movie that was utterly mediocre, and again, even Don Mancini and Brad Dourif themselves don't look back on it fondly. It's their least favorite movie of the franchise.
Yep.
So the movie turned out mediocre. I still think it's not too bad when you consider the circumstances it was made in. But again, it doesn't change the fact that by the time we got to the third movie, clearly the franchise needed a shot in the arm. So basically, what happened is Don Mancini and David Kirshner decided that the series needed a new direction. It originally started production in 1996, called Child's Play 4: The Return of Chucky. That's quite a generic name, but whatever. Don said that he was inspired by the release of Scream. In fact, Mancini said, like most genres, the horror genre goes in cycles, and I think we can thank Kevin Williamson and Scream for reinvigorating the market. So yeah, during the late 90s, early 2000s, the horror genre was in its comedy horror phase. So obviously, Chucky would have to adapt or die. So this is the beginning of the comedy era of Chucky. And by that I mean, I know that the franchise always had comedy, but this is the first one to really lean more into the comedic tone.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the basic gist of it. And this is still not Don directing. It's a guy called Ronnie Yu.
The director of Warriors of Virtue.
That being said, the reason they got him was because of his film, The Bride with White Hair. Because apparently he made a lot of good movies outside of that one movie.
This man would also go on to direct the Freddy vs. Jason movie.
The primary inspiration for this movie, as you can probably guess from the title, is Bride of Frankenstein.
It's almost as if the movie itself will even reference that.
Gee, I wonder. That being said, we have a new protagonist that will be sharing the spotlight with Brad Dourif as Chucky. Jennifer Tilly. This is where she joins the franchise, and she's still the female protagonist to this day. Don and David were really impressed by her roles in Bound by the Wachowskis and Bullets Over Broadway. In fact, it was actually Tilly's co-star in Bound that encouraged her to take this role. In retrospect, Mancini even commented, once we introduced her character, that brought a certain comedic get this right. He said that once we introduced Jennifer Tilly's character, that brought a certain comedic camp vibe, which I think is kind of historically a hallmark of gay culture. Which, this also is to the fact that this is going to be when the LGBT elements of the franchise start to become more prominent.
Jennifer Tilly was apparently so popular that she survived even into the more serious era of the franchise, before they found the ultimate balance, I would argue, with the show. That being said, if you were to ask me, when it comes strictly to the movies, Bride and Seed are my favorite. That is not to say I dislike what came after, but I do feel like comedy horror is honestly what the series felt like it was building up to anyway. I will say this, of the horror series that converted into comedy horror, I feel like Child's Play is one that at least felt the most natural in doing it. I mean, to be fair, it's a horror series about a doll who constantly gives one-liners and quips and all that, so he already had the advantage compared to a lot more serious slashers.
Well, that's the thing, Joe. Apparently a lot of people disagree with you because after Seed, there was a cry demand for a return to the more straightforward horror, and Curse of Chucky was fan acclaimed. So although to be fair,
Seed has its issues. I would argue that had more to do with the quality of Seed rather than people not liking it, because when it came to Bride of Chucky, it is the highest grossing of the Child's Play movies as well.
Yeah.
Not saying much, which is only 50.7 million.
Well, to be fair,
these movies are low budget to begin with.
Yeah,
anyway.
well, I'm used to John Carpenter movie, don't worry.
Not only that,
But,
Teal, but it's an R-rated flick. Those often have trouble getting as
Also,
high a box
Limited
office.
audience, yes.
Not the magical year 1997, this was 1998, so still, you know, a lot of people have been receiving the backlash for all the movies, bad movies.
All right.
Plus,
Yeah,
this movie had a lot of WCW marketing.
Yeah, this was the beginning of Child, because the show did the same thing. Where I forgot her name, a certain popular
Liv Morgan.
female- That's it, Liv Morgan. She showed up in the show. She's a huge fan, which is why her outfit is the way it is.
Was she one of the wrestlers who actually debuted alongside Chucky in the circuit around that time?
I don't know.
No.
You'll have to ask.
No.
Alright,
Anyway,
where
that's
should
it.
we start?
So we should start right before the Universal logo, ladies and gentlemen. It's all right. So let's start. 3, 2, 1, quick.
But
So yeah, by the way, we managed to get, aside from, you know, getting back Jay, we also managed to get back Deji as well. He's caught up with Free.
but
we
like,
caught him up privately.
but yeah, in spite of Free still to this day not really being regarded positively, the series at the time did have, well, there's a reason that they struck while the iron was hot here. Like, the franchise perception was massively popular for it, like, and that's saying something. Like, that's not to say that, you know, no other horror movies were still in the vogue at the time, but Child's Play had a special case where, well, the character of Chucky was just that popular, which is, like Pedro mentioned, part of why they renamed the series to the Chucky series.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Hey, Jason.
And Ash Vaso, Michael Myers mask. That's cute.
And
Also
Freddy
Krueger's
Krueger's
well.
gauntlet.
Yeah, and this is one of those horror franchises that actually has been presently constantly. As a result, ever since the 80s, every generation has been exposed to Chucky in some manner. In fact, Jennifer Tilly said recently that whenever she's out on the street, kids will come to her and go, yeah, Chucky, and everything. So kids of today are still as perfectly familiar with Chucky because, again, this franchise is still around and is still being exposed to new kids.
Although I call foul for putting Ash's chainsaw among the other, you know, repertoire, because that's implying, you know, Ash Williams is a serial killer when he's not.
I'm pretty sure that
Maybe
chainsaw is
someone-
supposed to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Fair enough, it makes more sense.
So,
So
Yeah, Sherry?
I know these are the Pedro mentioned. Like, I know these were the movies where the LGBT stuff started to become more prominent. But this series has always been considered camp horror, incredibly camp horror.
yeah, like,
Well, that's what you get for talking on your phone like that while you're driving.
honestly, if anything, I feel like that was part of Free's problem, was trying to, like, act way more serious than it had any business being. That's not to say that they couldn't do serious, like, you know, Curse and Cult did do that, but Curse and Cult still at least had the laughs to go with it. Free felt like it was trying to move away from that, which was just dumb. But yeah, here's probably the one thing we're going to acknowledge from Free. This bag of evidence.
Yeah, if you forgot, Chucky was kind of, you know, dismembered by one of the rotor blades for the, you know, the theme park. I'm surprised
yeah, I
anything
haven't
survived.
Yeah, so this guy apparently has the remains of Chucky in this bag.
It looks like a slightly younger version of the T-1000 from Terminator 2. Yes, I saw this shot from Honey Shrunk the Kids. As a reminder, whoa,
No,
oh Jesus.
as you'll figure out throughout the franchise, this is Tiffany's trademark way to kill people.
Slashing the throat from behind the seat.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, meet Tiffany, played by Jennifer Tilly.
again, like, for whatever backlash Seed may have gotten, Tiffany was an insanely popular addition. So much so that, you know how Chucky is a playable killer in, I think it's Dead by Daylight?
Yeah, after we commented the movies last year, he did become eventually a killer in Dead by Daylight.
Well, basically,
Oh,
Tiffany
nightmare.
became an ult for him, I believe with her own voice lines and everything, which, you know.
He did, yes.
Was she voiced by Jennifer Tilly or someone else?
Tiffany is Chucky's the love of Chucky's life, basically. And again,
No, I
to
said
this
is she
day-
still voiced by Jennifer Tilly? in
Yes,
Dead by
you keep
Daylight?
wondering
Yes.
that because the developers of Dead by Daylight tend to usually try to do as much work as it can to stay consistent.
Also, when it comes to Tiffany, Jennifer Tilly always takes whatever opportunity she can to return to
John
play as
Ritter.
her.
Yeah.
What
Oh
is
yeah,
he
John
doing
Ritter.
here?
John Ritter. This was I think it was a couple of years before he took on, at least in the American version, before he took on the voice of Clifford the Big Red Dog.
And yes, you can tell this was made in the 90s with the emphasis on rock and metal there.
Also, that's a thing, Joe. Like Jennifer has said various times that Don is her favorite director.
Oh, great! We're having Graham Ravel at the score, the guy who the year before this scored the Spawn movie.
You know
Yeah,
what?
finally
I
that.
I definitely notice some
He was,
similarities
he
there.
was busy these years. Go on, Joe Pero, sorry.
And yeah, as you can see, Tiffany has a shit ton of newspaper cutouts of the death of.
Oh, Rob
Chucky
Zombie
back when he was-
performed the opening title song. Cute.
Yeah.
I've never understood the appeal of these dolls.
Some people nowadays just like them because they're creepy, go figure.
That's the thing, Shiro. Right? Like to this day, Chucky dolls and Tiffany dolls are still selling.
And that's
I
another...
just mean like the general porcelain doll
And
kind
here's,
of thing.
the
like-
porcelain.
and here's something that was spawned from this movie. Chucky's secondary iconic appearance.
yeah,
like...
with the stitches. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Again,
the company who made the good guy doll went defunct after the death of the CEO.
that or, you know... Oh, maybe that or due to the new spell for the show, essentially. It needs to be that
I
doll
guess it is.
specifically.
I guess it is true. You can't keep a good guy down.
Yeah.
I swear I've seen this house before somewhere.
And yeah, just like the previous two movies, entirely written by Don Mancini himself.
Classic suburban stuff, dweebs. They tend to be built on blocks. It's not that different of the equivalent of a European, apartment block. Oh, let me guess. He's dating his daughter, and it's 10 reasons you should know.
That would be a no to.
Oh,
Wait for it.
His boy, he must be. His boy, he must be actor. I think you know what I'm trying to say. This is still very indicative of the time that was produced and released.
I forget how old these movies are, actually.
Well, this one is 1998, so
26.
remember, Shiroi, I was already watching the original trilogy when I was a wee lad, so
Nerd!
Yes.
Okay.
Also fly.
Was the fly intentional, or we something they just left it in?
I get the feeling they just left for the sake of adding realism to this.
That's just so random.
Can you just imagine? Ronnie a fly got in the shots.
All right.
It adds genuinity to the scene.
So yeah, Dave
Or
is
something
just
like that.
Dave is just providing cover so that
So-
Jay can actually date the love of her life, Jesse here.
Yeah, here's the thing, and here's the funny thing. This is something that I always find really funny. David here too. He's the gay best friend of these two, and he always
Oh,
helps
thank
them
God.
do
I
this.
was actually fearing we were going to a cocker which says, oh, I'm letting her date this guy, but I secretly love her. Or
No,
something.
not that. Like I said, he's the designated driver, basically.
Alright. Okay. Okay, I know there's the gay best friend stereotype, but I mean, there is a gay guy writing this, so maybe it won't be like that.
Also, great. Not even 10 minutes in, the police is already ruining the fun. Magnificent.
Basically, Jay's guardian is her uncle, who is incredibly controlling in her life to the point where he'll have his lackey here keep tabs on her to make sure she's not dating the guy he doesn't like.
This is abuse of power. I'm pretty sure you can't use your cops to do
To
this.
say the very least.
Imagine that! Assholes in a Child's Play movie.
Well, horror movies in general. Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, aside from that.
So,
Oh,
this is
the
actually-
slow-mo.
Yeah. So from the very beginning, there you go.
Voodoo for dummies.
This is where you can totally tell what kind of movie you're in for.
Did we actually
Ti-
print this
Tiffany-
book?
Tiffany is about to perform a satanic ritual to bring back Chucky by reading a book called Voodoo for Dummies. That should tell you exactly everything you need to know about what kind of movie you're watching.
Jennifer, no, this is the 90s. You're supposed to play, Night Trap instead to someone's
No.
level, don't you know?
Man, Leota is never gonna get to rest in peace.
Yeah, I actually did like her as Madame Leota.
You pronounced it wrong.
Missed opportunity of saying you dumb me, I guess.
I mean, you bought the book, so.
Hi. Oh god, yes, Metal Finger, covers. I used to have a couple of those.
And yeah, murdering people brutally happens to be Tiffany's fetish.
I'm sure there are less, violent hobbies you can have in your
Well,
life.
so you can see why. So you can see why she got together with Chucky, obviously.
Let me see who's her friend.
But Chucky's vanished!
Oh.
Damien.
Obviously.
Oh, Alexis Arquette. Okay.
Literally using him as bait.
I'm no one to judge, sorry.
I mean, she's a
Neither
professional.
am I.
I mean, she's a professional poker player, so of course she knows how to keep a good poker face for any situation.
Duh.
Oh, it's a friend.
Cheery, no. Of course it's called
And
Charlotte.
Charlotte, of course.
Yeah. Well, it's good to know she's a reader of fine literature.
I get it. I get the
One
joke,
of-
doesn't.
One of these days, one of them will actually call it Shallow, he said.
I know a good few people who have pet spoilers.
Unfortunately for Shella, but Charlotte's got a lot more booking press.
I suppose if you're going to be brought back from the dead for a third time or more, you might as well know how to make an entrance.
Yep.
He dies so much and comes back, he's probably used to it at this point.
Oh, wait till
Well,
you
there's-
see his closing line in this movie.
So it's horror movie slashers, basically. Those.
It comes to a point where it makes you wonder why don't, these people, the serial killers, or in this case, Chucky, just tell what the afterlife is like.
It's shit.
Well, yeah, when you're evil. Boy really thinks he's about to get some in a horror movie.
Well, he's about to get some, just not in the way he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. He said it. He said the thing. He said the thing.
Can we go home now? Yeah, there's the other thing of 90s horror, sort of a self-deprecation of saying, "Oh, 80s horror movies were so stupid."
More like the 90s in general was... I don't want to say it was completely scuffing at the 80s. They did pay their respects, but yeah, there
remember
was
the,
definitely the saying, God, this is so 80s. Well, okay, here's the general rule of thumb. Usually when we get to a new decade, we look back on the old decade with some disdain, but the decade 2 decades ago, that's the one we start to respect. Like, during the 80s, there was a big nostalgia fuel for the 60s. 90s, 70s...
Again, Joe, this inspiration, as Pedro said, for this was Scream, and Wes Craven, when creating it, was explicitly trying, to not satirize, well, also satirize, but, tell a conversation about, the slasher genre. The problem is that the takeaway that people got after that was just that, it was still funny, but not in the way the actor intended.
The show will actually expand upon that backstory, by the way.
The show is really good.
Really? Grim and Worm Tongue? I'm pretty sure there were better fishes in this game. Oh no, going exorcist with these.
Suppose.
Ow.
Basically letting him bleed out and smothered at the same time.
Guessing that wasn't what he imagined when he wanted to be sat on, huh?
Or smothered. He had some different pillows in mind.
Yeah, let's not talk about the military stuff, yeah.
Weren't you in a military school? I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, no, like, from what I understand, even the series, like, I think 3 is, like, the only thing the series hasn't really touched yet.
No, not really. Like I said, Don doesn't look back on that movie fondly.
Like, again, whatever backlash Seed may have gotten, it seems to have its defenders, and, people who legit like it these days. Free, I don't really hear anyone have much great to say about it. And I'll admit, I'll even take the reboot over Free. Like, Free to me is just too boring. It's Child's Play trying to be too serious without the jokey jokes, which, it's not Child's Play then. Oh, so what better way to fornicate after murdering someone?
Lovely. Oh, alcohol test. Wow, these cops are assholes because they deliberately let people catch pneumonia.
Don't you have, criminals to deal with or whatever?
Sure, don't give them ideas. They might start harassing minorities instead.
They probably already have. It's late into the evening.
Is that a challenge?
Okay, kind of missed that because I don't remember that. Did Christian Slater actually had an accident like this? Is he drank too much? Let me check.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, there it is. 1989, he was arrested for drunk driving.
Huh.
There you go. That's what it's a reference to then.
Straight from IKEA's.
Man, those to be honest, those IKEA meatballs, Swedish meatballs, are really delicious.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, from everything we've seen, yes, she is.
Dude, it's flipping Jennifer Tilly. Come on.
I'm surprised they didn't
I
wait
think
that
at this
long.
point he doesn't give a care in the world.
I'm surprised they didn't wait that long for the whole reveal. Usually when it comes to, Harley Quinn and Joker style romances like that, they wait for the climax for that to be the punchline.
Actually, ironically, what we'll have is a bit of an inverse, because Chucky may not love her now, but, well, I guess you can say he has his character development as the series goes.
Wow.
Yeah, she doesn't take rejection the best.
No, not at all.
Damn.
Now that was a new low.
Sorry, Jova.
I guess Vegeta is out of the question then.
Dang. Wolverine as well, too.
Yep.
The mighty Charles Lee Ray, defeated by a nursery crib.
Don't worry, you can play poker all night long.
And she even takes out the ring and everything.
I mean, you'll lose since you're playing a professional poker player, but still.
Yeah.
Oh, she's sleeping right next to the
He's
corpse.
still there.
Let her grieve, Shiroi.
A
She's
cold,
dealing
a
with
cold body is
heartbreak.
what turns her on.
Shiroi, she's dealing with heartbreak. His heart's already stopped, so he doesn't have to care about it.
Do you mind going up a bit? I'm trying to sleep here.
Like, move over, for goodness sake.
He can't. He's handcuffed.
I'm dead.
Skill issue.
Oh, finally,
Every date with
Jay.
a twin bed.
Look, Chucky's been dead, but that doesn't stop him.
What is this song?
Just some
90s.
garbage or something. Garbage the band, by the way.
Yeah, time to dispose of the body.
Oh, look at that! She happens to be neighbors with our young male lead.
Playing this guy, Nick Stable. Where have I heard him already? Well, he was in an episode of CSI Miami. Maybe I've seen him there. Ha 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 ha. In the trunk, yes.
Yeah, you lifted it that far.
I don't think it's fragile, yeah.
Can't hurt it.
Uh-oh.
Yep, he was tempted. Again, it's Jennifer Tilly. Can't blame you, my dude. Can't blame you. He had to think about that.
Yeah.
Jennifer Tilly as Catwoman.
Trying to think.
Also, I could see Jennifer Tilly being Harley Quinn now that I think about
Yeah,
it.
I was seeing her more like that than being Selena Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Life advice from Tiffany.
Yeah.
Dude wants to leave this conversation so badly.
Did I miss anything?
Kill
Not particularly.
Tiffany.
She's disposing of a body from the night before. Yeah, fuck this.
Well, he's
Interesting
finding
thought,
ways to express himself.
Somehow it seems less healthy than the killing.
Oh, just like Tommy Wiseau, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's kind of the title of the movie.
That face.
There you go, the titular bride of Chucky.
I would not get this for any kid.
Who's the biggest sadist here?
Good question.
Yes.
Good question.
The serial killer?
Well, okay, when you get down to it...
Both of them are serial killers, Dubs.
Okay, when you get down to it...
Whoever killed the most people, then?
Okay, when you get down to it, he did the killing, but she seems to relish more so the pain and immense torture, essentially. So, I'm guessing she's the bigger sadist. That's not to say he doesn't enjoy pain, but he's more just about racking up that kill count.
Oh, Murder, She Wrote!
Yeah.
Hey!
The show was still going at this point.
Yeah.
albeit in like
And there it
movie
is.
form.
Frankenstein.
Bride
Not
of Frankenstein.
Classic Boris. Oh, okay, classic.
Man, if nothing, he's not. If it's nothing, he's certainly resourceful.
Yeah, of course Chucky was going to escape.
Yeah, that's the thing. The Bride of Frankenstein had a dead choice for a hairdo. Oh.
All right, she initially rejected Adam, didn't she?
Yes.
Again, if for anyone, not just any of the rest of you haven't seen it, be sure to genuinely check classic Universal monster movies. They genuinely are a good time.
Mm-hmm. With a lot of them, of course, being fueled by Boris Karloff.
Specifically, he's Frankenstein. Yeah.
I think he did like pretty much almost all of them, save for Dracula.
I don't think he was the Invisible Man.
Ah, yeah, that may have been someone else, but I'm pretty sure he did the Mummy, Wolfman, and Frankenstein at least.
Shit.
Nice kick.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Look at the bubbles.
Might be the wildest bubble bath I've seen in a while. But he's not done.
Oh yeah, I actually know about this. I was just wondering when it was going to happen, but I guess very soon.
So yeah, I'm not quite done with you, Tiff.
That shaman's
guessing
gonna
I can't
regret
come back
teaching
to the
him this
movie
spell
yet.
till the day she dies.
Oh shit. Up.
All right, now you can, Shirai.
Cool.
So yeah, now he put Tiffany's soul in the stall.
I guess they really are made for each other now. Yeah, that goes as you can expect.
Now you're perfect for each other.
And I guess considering there's no human witnessing her rising, that means she cannot even possess the soul of anyone.
About that.
About that, wait till season 2 of the show, honey.
Okay.
You didn't get this information from a book. Why would you know this?
He
It's
already
just
knows
that
all the
good.
stuff that's
Again,
in this
I'm
book.
curious. Did they actually, for funsies, printed the book?
All
I
right,
wonder.
so this is one thing about Bride of Chucky that is a bit head scratching. he's saying that okay, so now in order for us to get out of these doll bodies and put ourselves in our original bodies, we need the heart of Dambala. If you forgot, that's the voodoo god that they get their magic from. The heart of Dambala jewel which is very baffling considering in the previous 3 movies they never needed that jewel to perform these voodoo rituals. So
I guess it's plan B, maybe?
no, that's the thing too. Like,
Well, okay. It could potentially be Plan B because, you know, getting that medallion is not exactly the easiest thing to do. Jesus, he's trying to kill the fish.
Yes, and I'm sure you can give us like 50,000 when we get to Alderaan.
all right, so now Tiffany's gonna give herself a makeover and give herself the trademark, the now iconic doll look that she has.
Mm-hmm.
Those eyes are a lot wetter than they should be for a doll.
Well, no. That's the makeup.
Of course, also the beauty mark.
Since she is a lover of dolls, she has plenty of accessories to give herself, too.
Fair enough.
And as you can probably guess, yes, basically modeled after Jennifer herself. There you go.
Damn, she smokes a lot.
But what's this? Chucky is a bit turned on now.
It was funny because Jennifer Tilly the previous year she was in Liar Liar.
Yep. That's another great movie that she's in.
So she's going to have Jesse essentially transport their bodies.
Just that natural.
Well, it's Tiffany, so that's probably something she would say.
Actually, I haven't checked yet.
Ow.
Where are we? Let me see. Okay, Lockport, New York. And I was thinking, oh, if it's Maine, maybe we can go to the pet cemetery.
But no, she wants to take them to the cemetery where Charles Lee Ray is buried.
Oh, that's not here. I had to wonder if that's inspired by one of Don's experiences when he was a teenager.
Possible.
Apparently, I'll have to get Wikipedia up again.
Remind me, Don, is he bisexual or did he just experiment
Gay.
when he was...
He's gay.
He's a gay man.
He apparently had he was bullied and he was abused by his father because of it.
Yeah.
That's why he needs 1,000. Got it.
Hey, that's just like what Tiffany would like.
Jack off.
I mean, that's a total of $1,000. That's not that much when you think about it.
Okay,
I
hold
guess
on,
he
let
thinks
me
he's enough of
see.
a start.
Like, 1,000 in 1998 may be enough for a start. Let me see. Huh. It's almost worth 2,000 these days.
And yeah, as you can hear, Chucky is not very much into romanticism.
Again, he'll get his character development with this movie.
Like I said, I really get the Joker and Harley type of vibes from his relationship.
In
Hold
my...
on.
Yeah.
One.
Ouch.
What the hell?
Wait, hold on. Are you trying to tell me that the killer doll that killed tons of people might not be a very nice guy?
Uh-oh, Warren's already back.
Came in my head.
Think you were just gonna break in?
Oh no, he's going to do something.
I mean, he's the police. He's gonna do it anyway, just
Again,
because.
Well,
I mean, and now at least now we get, as you can probably guess, yes, we're gonna have the satisfaction of seeing these two do away with him. So
he's
I
not.
think you could take care of that.
He's not gonna blatantly break in because if there's a sign of forced entry, you know.
I mean, you can just blame it on the others.
oh, then.
He said he was chief of police, right?
Yes.
So yeah, he can just do whatever, I guess.
Well, he says that, but even he knows how things will look a bit suspicious if, he just happens to find it, after he busted in without any probable cause.
A hammer?
So
No.
this time we're taking the Triple H approach, maybe.
He's
Again,
going to give him a pedigree.
but that is one thing about this movie.
Sledgehammer.
Yeah, that is one thing about this movie. They do go out of their way to make sure, okay, the kills have got to be more creative, essentially. Which is definitely to the film's benefit.
There you go. He's still breaking in. Like,
Yeah, as Tia mentioned earlier, the music's done by Graham
Graham
Lavelle,
Lavelle.
who came back from the second movie to do this film.
oh, he's planting weed. Great.
This was back before it got legalized.
It reminds me more of the Knights joke in Shrek 2.
That's gonna leave
Yeah,
a mark.
That is creative, although I guess this guy's gonna become the next Pinhead.
Hey, wasn't one of the Pinheads a previous cop or army guy?
So now Chucky's become a prequel to Saw.
And I guess, as we mentioned with Hellraiser, also he has a job, a World War I soldier.
Dump him out the back.
Yeah, does your almighty Martha Stewart have an answer for this too?
Oh no, don't.
Yep, in the trunk.
That's your solution to everything.
I mean, where else would they put him even?
And we managed to clean in record time.
I mentioned the wrestling connection earlier. So on October 12th, 1998, roughly about a few days before the film came out, Rick Steiner was doing a promo interview with Gene Okerlund, but got interrupted by a pre-recorded Chucky on the screen, and pretty oddly out of character for him, said, "Oh, I hope your brother beats you in a match." Yeah, I think Chucky's more recent wrestling appearances were better.
I get the feeling Don had no say in what Chucky said in that bit you just mentioned, probably.
And I don't know if he had much say in the later ones.
Well, remember, the whole thing with Liv Morgan was a collaboration between WWE and the show, so that one definitely did.
Let me see who asshole cop number 2 is played by. Norton, there you go. Michael Lewis Johnson.
Well, at least he's honest.
I'm not so sure about that, honey.
I get the idea that Sartori. Oh, this was one of his very first roles. It was in the RoboCop Prime Directives TV series. I haven't seen it, but he's still doing stuff relatively to these days.
Mm-hmm.
Easy, don't.
Yeah, nothing to see here.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, Chucky is getting high as a kite off of that weed. Good luck.
Oh yeah, he planted the weed earlier, didn't he?
Yeah, but Chucky got it before they could. He probably could find it. That being said, if he managed to find the bodies, is another story entirely.
Why do these dolls look high?
They're high on life.
Why do they smell of weed?
It's an incredibly immersive doll.
Uh-oh. Okay, I guess now he's finding the weed.
That's a lot of it.
That's a lot of weed.
Enough to put him away. If only there was something that could solve their problems. Yeah.
I wonder if the
So now time for Chucky to solve this problem.
You know, that is one thing that's a spin-on thing. Usually Chucky makes the lives of his victims, well, the people he's trying to possess, worse. But ironically, in this case, he actually makes it better for these two.
Of course. Classic.
Of course, she still loves watching him work.
Remember, killing people is her fetish. So. Oh, I love this bit here.
shit.
Hold up. Man, I have got to
Deep,
stop.
man.
I got to stop smoking this shit.
Let's it go.
The last thing he sees are two dolls waving to him.
We needed the oh shit surprise close up of the cop, I guess.
Obviously.
Dude. Also, I wonder from the
I
scene
thought
before.
it was going to be like, Jesse, I can't believe you blew up the cop car.
I I wonder if in this from the scene before where he kicks accidentally the headlight of the car, it wasn't supposed to break and we just roll with it.
That'd be interesting.
Also, Graham, I notice it sounds a little bit like you're doing some Psycho in the background.
No, it's totally different, Waves. Don't worry.
See, they still have the magic is still there, guys.
It truly is like a Disney romance.
Basically, both of them think the other did something about Norton.
Yep. So now, yep.
I know it's not her, but for some reason this actress kind of reminds me of DJ from Full House.
Yeah, I haven't tracked her. Let me see. Catherine Heigl.
Well, I guess in a way he could be considered vaporized.
She has been in a lot of movies and she's still doing stuff to this day. The only thing I recognize her from was the Nut Job duology.
Wait, the nut job.
So, is there the reason why you watch those, or...?
I haven't, but I know very
Oh, God, she was... Jesus. Was she not in much other stuff?
No,
but she was
the only thing I was recognizing her, but that's it.
She plays Dr. Izzy Stevens on Grey's Anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
The show that will never end.
Well, time for them to make their life a hell again. You know, the way he does it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
Yes.
the previous movie did end with the protagonist of the original trilogy being arrested and put on a bus, basically.
Yeah.
What a stupid ending.
Speaking of, I hope Andy gets some therapy.
And we'll get put a pin on that for now, Jay.
Niagara
What the hell
Falls.
is this song?
Windy. Oh, they have to be crossing down from New York.
Yep, basically, it's basically a transition.
I've got the Peace Bridge to Canada right outside my window. For a minute there, I was very confused where they were shooting this movie.
Also, Jay, Fairly Odd Parents told me that, at Niagara Falls, it's constantly surrounded by red jackets patrolling the area. Who are you, Scorpion?
Oh.
I know it's not him, but this guy reminds me a bit of Will Ferrell.
Huh.
In appearance, not voice.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
You've had mugshots before?
Oh my god, he
You know,
actually
killing you.
apologized.
Now, the thing about Chucky, and this will become clear as the series moves on, despite everything, he does care for Tiffany, just in his own fucked up way.
Yeah. That's why I say it's. That's why I say it's not quite Joker and Harley, because Charles does grow to understand that he can't live without Tiff, essentially. Despite the fact that they do duel and bicker a lot, like a married couple. Shoot, I'd say by the time of Cult of Chucky, they practically are.
Oh, still alive.
My God!
That's
Tetanus hasn't gotten to him yet.
Yeah, that's a true horror. A compliment doesn't die.
That's okay.
Oh.
Oh, well, that fixed it.
That might have done the job.
You gotta love the irony.
Just to be sure.
You gotta love the irony when it's the killers who get jump scared.
Nothing beats the classics, stabbing with a knife.
Just in case you did want to.
Very simple, very direct. Yes.
You can trust the bride, of course.
Well, they're married now. That's nice.
They're married.
Let me check something quickly in the meantime.
They're married, but for all
it is. Ain't that the truth?
Babe, you tell me if you were a serial killer, right?
Look, I'm not. What? I'm not allowed to have my own privacy.
I mean, serial killing seems like a hobby in which you share it with other people.
Well, yeah, that's why Chucky and Tiffany shared that hobby with each other. So.
No, what the hell?
Wrong room, basically.
Well, she's dead. Oh.
Oh, now she's definitely dead. And she's also a thief.
Nothing.
Just sports. Wanna swing? She just offered a gangbang. Yeah, that's the thing about Tiffany. While she is a serial killer, she has her own moral sense of justice, which means if you do wrong in her eyes, she'll kill you dead.
Alright, so this next death is actually one of my all-time favorite Chucky deaths in the entire franchise. Just because of how awesome it is.
What do they do? It's a waterbed, so what do you drown them in it?
Nah, well...
Not quite. Well, let's see.
Yeah, just like in the original Child's Play, apparently being turned into a doll gives you super speed.
Sure.
Oh, it's a waterbed.
Oh, here we go.
Those aren't screams of orgasm! Well, there's something you don't see every day.
There you go.
Interesting special effects, I guess.
Well, it was
And now-
something to do with the water.
But the best part is Chucky's reaction to this.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, sure.
To this day,
Oh,
Yes.
oh my god.
this gets him to love her so much that he gets down on one knee, takes the ring off the woman who stole it, and literally proposes to Tiffany.
There you go.
Hey,
Literal-
murder is an art form, apparently.
Now she really is the bride of Chucky.
TM.
And that's the end of the movie.
It's a bit stuck. Give me a moment.
Sausage
Get the
finger.
butter.
Just chop it up. Yeah, or that.
There we go.
I mean, you can't get sick from doing that, so...
He's a doll.
About that, Edge. About that.
Voila.
There we are. That works.
What? It's the curse wearing its effects that he's about to get.
Remember,
he's about
one of
to-
the effects of the curse is that the more time they spend in a doll's body, the more human the body becomes.
In
And
fact,
such also more vulnerable.
Aww.
which means she has tear ducts.
Of course.
Yep.
That joke.
It's time to consummate the marriage.
Please don't let them breed.
Oh, well, Tio, you
Wait,
do
isn't
know
the
what
next
the
movie... Oh boy.
you do know
Bummer.
that the next movie is called The Seed of Chucky, right?
Yep.
What did you think that meant?
Oh no, sure. The idea of a steel one here, but it was
This
speaking
gives-
something like
one of my favorite jokes in the movie.
It's
also. Well, I was more pondering if it was a case that he was going to get still on air, but without body transfer, similar to what happened to Tiffany.
But yeah, no. They have consummated the marriage. Meanwhile, for these kids, they're not doing as hot.
I mean, I kind of get it, poor bastards.
I mean, on
I
the
mean,
one hand,
I really like lying on those beds, to be honest.
on the
Hey,
one,
hey, Shira. Sorry.
hmm
Hey, Shira, clearly what the girl should have done, you know, the human couple here, clearly what the girl should have done is apply the Yoshinoko logic, right?
oh god,
Wait, which Oshinoko logic?
You know, the one that I showed you recently.
Oh god. I mean, huh.
He's gonna get another call.
Remember what that show that manga teaches Shuri. Apparently, she's she's supposed to shoulder all his burdens, including murder. See, that's how it works.
Oh my
Hey,
god, he
and-
did get a second call.
At least in this movie's case, it's consensual.
Well, technically, in Oshinoko, it's also consensual.
I mean, Aqua thinks she's crazy.
Why would you bother this late at night?
Housekeeping, actually, usually the Jay in motel. It also depends on the establishment, of course. Each
Yeah.
individual establishment has their own schedule. But sometimes even during the night there will be housekeeping, especially if it's like a suite for marriage purposes, because we know there's a party there. So wow. Not to mention, based on the lighting, yeah, it's morning already.
Okay,
and usually,
yeah.
and housekeeping always comes in on the morning. I can tell you that much. Because I've
Yeah.
worked in hotels.
Usually, it's actually written down. You know, if it has a schedule,
Yeah,
regular schedule.
Usually one
Please
of the
tell
first
me.
things you should do when you go into a motel, a hotel, whatever, ask about the housekeeping schedule, so you know. I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah.
No, the interesting thing is that blonde hair aside, he kind of does look like a younger version of Don Mancini, actually.
I think he actually looks like a younger version of Fred from the Raimi Scooby-Doo films.
It's funny, well, because instead, as you say that, Druma, because that guy that was on the mattress, you know, from the other couple, this sounded a bit like instead Frank Welker, you know, Fred voice.
Huh.
That's right, Scoop. We're dealing with one sick son of a bitch.
I mean, let's be honest, that's probably what Fred and Daphne were doing while Velma, Shaggy, and Scooby were getting chased.
Yeah, the Johnny Bravo skit basically told us that.
Mm-hmm.
True, yeah, Warren's only missing. So basically, Dave's theory is that Warren's actually the one doing the killing because he's just that crazy.
So, David was actually able to mend things between them real quick. Because he's really cool.
All good, right?
I don't think we mentioned yet who David is played by. Gordon Michael. Jesus.
You know what? Never mind. Maybe you guys should go back to.
Gordon Michael Woolvet. I don't recognize anything that he did. Go on, sorry.
Don't you just hate it when you open a friend's trunk and you find a dead body in there? It's always a hassle when that happens.
Happens every Friday.
I mean, especially if you're in Florida, I guess.
It's trigger discipline, you nut job!
This went from 0 to 100.
Well, to be fair, I mean, obviously would, considering what he just discovered.
Close the lid. That probably smells really bad.
Wow, some friend you are throwing her under the bus.
Well, to be fair, they're murderers as far as he can tell. I mean... Oh.
Well,
come on!
He didn't do anything!
Okay. To be fair,
Yeah.
To be fair, Jay, victims in a Child's Play movie can be the biggest of bastards
Indiscriminate?
or innocents, yeah.
Yeah, good guy.
Wow, she gets married and becomes a widower all in 1 week.
What? No.
A widow, sorry.
No. Jesse's still alive. It's David who died.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
they're gay best
I got
friend.
mixed up.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fine.
I'm more.
It's just a scratch.
What I wanted, one thing noted was more the fact that it is another kill that Chucky nor Chucky nor Tifa in this case gets, but it's an accidental thing.
And now it's off to New Jersey.
Well, to be fair, in this case, it was made for the purpose of a joke, so...
I mean, I'm pretty sure the heart attack was supposed to be like that also in the third movie.
Yeah. That's why it was funny, because Chucky's like, oh, you've got me.
Yeah.
Like he said back then, Dej, and like I said to you recently, you know, I prefer, you know, if it's a case where, you know, the slasher still gets to have dibs, unless the slasher intentionally allows that to happen. I don't remember what that reference is supposed to be. Let me check. Georgian Wheezy. Oh, it's a sitcom. Okay. Oh, it's called The Jeffersons. Okay.
Oh, right. That's right. I heard that show is popular in Italy. That they
I remember hearing about it, but I never saw it personally.
So yeah, because Charlie Ray's fingerprints have been found, they're going to exhume his body to check, essentially. Which means they have to hurry now.
Yeah, because he still has the heart of Damballa on his neck.
So let's trade up to an RV.
Oh wow, we're almost at the climax. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, this movie's not that long.
The movie's breezy, and again, it's very entertaining, so it's a very fun watch.
Yeah, I'd say the pace definitely works in its favor. So she's giving her a makeover so that she'll look just right when she pops into her body.
How ironic! It's the doll that's treating the human like a doll in this case.
Yep. Well, at least she's polite to her victims.
We just killed 2 extras.
Ah, cookies.
Can you smell what the Tiffany is cooking?
Wait, have my taste buds developed yet?
Yes.
Probably.
I mean, look, your junk developed enough for you to have sex. I think the taste buds are there. Basically, play them against each other.
This is turning into War of the Roses very quickly.
Oh my.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh!
That is low.
She actually made Chucky speechless. Ooh.
Jesus.
Oh. Oh, according to plan,
yeah,
no
when it said
doubt.
the cemetery next, right? I don't think that's what it meant.
Well, hey, now you'll be all ready to be popped into the next fresh graves.
Besides, you even went the wrong way. You went left.
Oh, of course the gas is leaking.
And he's dead.
Ah, rat baskets.
Jesse, we need to cook.
No, cooking is what got us here in the first place.
It's funny, because they're in an RV, too.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Tiffany's pretty pissed.
And without new makeover.
Yeah, being stuck in the oven don't do good for you when you're turning more human.
Ding.
Oh, and you also might have something in the oven.
Yeah, just imagining now, Tia, you said earlier, you made the Breaking Bad reference. Just imagining now, what if Breaking Bad just suddenly, if they cancelled the show, midway through. They could have it suddenly end with them cooking meth, but they don't look after the cooking things properly, and they all die in a gas explosion.
Still a better ending of The Sopranos, though.
Okay, I hear a lot about how The Sopranos was apparently a good show with a crappy ending.
The best way I can tell without spoiling, it just stops.
Hey, Jova, did you ever see the final episode of Everybody Hates Chris by any chance?
No, didn't. Why?
Okay, I was gonna...
Like I said, just stick to what I said. We just jumps from an explosion like that.
You know, what does it say?
I haven't seen any of Roddy Yu's other films. But Bobby said he's got a good sense of how to do good practical effects.
Yes, Jova?
What does it say that this movie has more exciting explosions than the actual military-based Child's Play movie? Bet this is not how you expected to spend your week, holding a doll hostage while another doll holds your wife hostage.
Meanwhile, Graham Ravelli is just banging on the door for this core. Let me in!
Yeah.
Let me in!
Hey, get it? 1988. That's the year of the first movie.
But yeah, that's the year he died.
Say please.
Do it!
My gun should serve as all the motivation you need. Do I really need a please?
There he is,
Yeah.
Charles Lee Ray, in the
Well, at least he has
flesh.
some company.
Yeah, your favorite, too.
How did
And,
they get in here?
They might
Heart
have
of Dumbo,
burrowed
huh?
their way in.
So this is what I look like when I'm dead.
Yes.
Well, I forgot, Vips. Have you seen Avatar: The Way of the Water?
Get over
Yes, I have.
yourself.
It's something like that happens in that, if you forgot.
Yeah. It's that douchebag guy from the last movie.
4H, yes.
Yeah.
Eventually, that lives. Wow, he genuinely cares.
Oh yeah, look, I mean, they just had a fight, but no, he does legit love Tiffany.
That's nice.
Just in his own fucked up way.
It burns.
I love she still has respect for him.
As long as we don't get actually chased by the police again. Oh, come on.
I mean, to be fair, Chucky, that's still better than what you looked like near the end of your first movie when you got burned alive.
No!
He really is a good guy.
That's the last thing you should do.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, this one's in the back, so I don't think it hit anything vital.
Possibly a long, considering he was.
I'm
on
very
the right
surprised
side.
why Chucky just didn't try shooting him instead.
Well, he
Well, I
wants
guess
him.
that's the next.
He wants him still alive.
Oh, he's going guns akimbo. You're not Beetlejuice.
Remember that the plan was for both of them to get into their bodies. So
Considering he had to say it these many multiple times, you think Brad Dourif probably has memorized the lines, word by word at this point for the incantation.
Ow, lovely.
It's bizarre, admittedly, yes, but
Oh, she
Stabbed him in the back.
literally.
Both literally and figuratively.
I'm the star now.
Okay, given how she's completely all on board with possessing bodies and pretty much everything after this, I had canon this is her just wanting to be dramatic in the moment and quote Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, granted, given what happens, I guess maybe she had an epiphany and figured,
Maybe she's
screw
still
it.
recovering from the overheating in the oven.
That is true.
Yeah.
She might just be in a case where she wants to die, she's in that much pain.
Ow!
Speaking of pain, yeah, Chucky is...
Pocket sand!
Chucky is reasonably pissed. Because when you get down to it, normally you'd think, oh, she broke away from him because he betrayed her.
Oh,
No, she's the one who betrayed him.
So since you're a fan of it, what do you think of the puppetry?
Yeah, I enjoy the puppetry in this. In the
Man, you gotta look at it from the kids' perspectives. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
The weirdest 24 hours of my life.
Also, man, the Phantom Menace's budget got cut really badly.
I was about to say, Dweebs, we might as well just have it start, the Dual Fates soundtrack.
Good face, but it's C minor.
Graham, why are you strumming your guitar in the background?
Just slam dunk into the coffin.
Why are you scared? It's just you.
Game over.
Oh, the detective! Oh my
Yes!
god, he actually showed up.
He did say they were going to exhume the body, so, yeah. I guess he doesn't like to be contained.
True.
But...
It'll take you 6 years, but
Whoa, what the hell?
I think you got him.
Just to be sure.
Gotta
Maybe
say...
Aaron
Yeah,
that,
show him one more time just to be safe.
Hey, look at that! 2 dead bodies. For the
and
same
it's
guy.
the same guy.
Interesting transition. What the hell was that?
Right. Well, we're at the funeral. Do you have any words to give?
Oh, sorry to pick up my mobile cell phone.
Oh, I like this bit.
Forensics is going to have a field day. And given
Yeah.
what goes on in Seed of Chucky, yeah, Forensics did do their job, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Since by the time of Seed of Chucky, the story of Charles Lee Ray in the body of a doll is famous enough to be made into a motion picture.
Yep.
What in the hell?
In universe.
That being said, like Jova just hinted, yeah, we have to throw in a cliffhanger that leads into the next movie.
Comes back to life.
Don't touch.
Maybe just fling her in with the fucking grave.
Well, hey, he can't mess with the crime scene.
Let me just shoot her just to be safe.
He just put his fingerprints on her 5 times.
Oh,
There we
snap.
are.
Oh yeah,
Recording-
this.
Those recording sessions they had must have been fun.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, trust me, that Jennifer Tilly always says that she has a lot of fun doing these movies.
Oh no, she has a chest burster.
In a
And there you
sense.
go, Demon Spawn. Meet the titular character of the next movie.
The seed of Chucky. The fruits of his labor, if you will.
Yeah, I would freak out like a detective if I were there.
Now that
Oh,
is
Papa.
and
And
there
he
you
died.
go.
And
Tune in
that,
next time, 6 years from now, to see what happens next.
Jesus Christ.
That's the interesting thing. I don't like Dweb said. The Bride is actually the highest grossing of the movie, so I have no idea why it took them so long to make Seed.
I'm
Well,
guessing.
considering what happened the last time the film was popular and it got a
Also-
sequel.
No, but this movie was not only good, but it also was popular.
I'm
Well,
guessing.
as we established since the first movie, Universal has a tendency of screwing things even before the Comcast buyout, so I'm not too surprised that they
I
fucked
guess.
these two.
I know that
So, yeah.
Chucky.
Go on.
I just noticed the dolls have a double casting in here.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Since they technically
but,
double as actors and voice actors.
Go on, Deuce. Final thoughts.
Oh, well, yeah, I enjoyed the movie a lot more than I did the last movie.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not that hard to do, but and the puppetry's. I mean, obviously they had the benefit of this being quite a few years after the last movie. The puppetry work's gotten a lot better.
The 90s was a great year for practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and CGI once they got the hang of it. The music, I think the music's solid enough, especially when. Okay. Jokes aside, I actually did like that little nod to Psycho Graham Revell did in that one track,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and the performances were all pretty good too, especially from Tilly and Dr. obviously when they were the dolls.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I am interested in seeing how Seed turns out, considering is that Mancini's first turn as a director.
His directorial debut. Aside from
Yeah,
writing
and
as well.
I've heard a lot of interesting things about Seed, both positive and negative. Well, not to mention, whenever a series has a movie that focuses on the son of insert character here, generally they tend to not work out very well. I'm watching the Godzilla films at the moment. I'm dreading getting to that one where Godzilla got busy.
Godzilla Jr.
Meaning,
All right.
actually.
Anything else, Dubs?
No, that's it. That's it. I mean, yeah, like I said, it's much better than the last movie, although it helps that he had 7 years to. Is it 7 years?
Well, unlike the previous movie, this movie was not made in a massive hurry. So
Yeah, I mean, they probably didn't have enough time for a third take or a second take, even in that. But yeah, I enjoyed this one.
That was funny. Huge step up from the last one
Hmm.
because they actually made this in more than 9 months. But for overall, pretty good movie. Humor is on point.
do you think Tiffany is a good addition to the cast?
Yeah. I got nothing else to say. Good movie.
Jay?
This movie is stupid. I loved it. This is the perfect kind of stupid where they've decided to throw all of the actual seriousness from the previous movies out the window. Considering the whole, with the third, kind of buried it or it started putting it on a decline, this was a breath of fresh air. Tiffany as a new killer is a very fun choice. A killer that has morals is always going to be hilarious. So the fact that she winds up being the trigger that takes down our classic killer in this one, real funny. I actually really like this one. if I've got to put it between the 4 or the other 3 that we saw, or I guess other 4 considering the remake, yeah, no, this one stands top of the line for now.
Teo.
Sure, I'll go next. Pleasantly surprised. You guys told that this is the start of the franchise taking a more comedic approach, but if I had to be honest, it seems to be more still on par in terms of balancing comedy and the seriousness with the previous movies. 3 notwithstanding, or an ideal scenario,
We mainly mention it because this was when it was officially genred as such, comedy horror.
Comedy horror. It was officially.
True, but if I had to be honest. If I had to be honest, I'm not seeing too much of the veering. Sure, there's a bit more emphasis on, some snarky remarks here and there, but not as much as to be a departure, say, the later Nightmare on Elm Street movies. That's usually what I think of a franchise that started dark but then turned into a comedy, But let's not say that it's for the worst. I think the balancing is just enough to be entertaining enough. So I kind of dig it. And yeah, Jennifer Tilly is an interesting addition to the cast. We think 10 extra minutes to spruce in a bit each scene, probably here and there throughout the entire movie, probably would have helped. This movie feels very fast, not rushed, but fast in actually going. More because we spend a lot of time setting up Tiffany, and her relationship with Chuckles. But that, again, it's still, a solid product at the end of the day. I didn't, enjoyed it. I am curious why it still didn't do much of a movie, so I'm gonna check in the meantime what it was against it, since we didn't check. I noticed also in the meantime that apparently this Mancini was not free from the curse of controversies in this, because apparently in 2015 a Russian serial killer called Elena Lobacheva mentioned that she was obsessed with this movie specifically and decided it's been an inspiration for her murders in Moscow. Thankfully, as you can attest from articles and the lack of articles and everything, this was not really a detriment to the franchise. But still, I'm kind of feel sorry for Mancini because, again, I can understand what Pedro says, but this is basically his love and passion put on screen, but he's constantly cursed by not managing to do that much money and having all of fucked up people over the world misinterpreting the movies. If I can say any critique to the movies, that more than the previous ones, this one is more obsessed with flickering lights, mostly representing the thunderstorm. Particularly towards the beginning, of course, the climax, but it's sprinkled almost entirely throughout. And what I don't have a problem, I can imagine, it might have been just one example for Shiroi. So maybe I hope that the next ones, try to tone it down a bit on that. One other thing that I was actually searching in the meantime, because I was curious if there were any comic adaptation of this series, because, stuff like Nightmare on Elm Street did got it. And apparently, yes, but before this era, there was an adaptation of Innovation Innovation Publishing did the comics, which were specialized in stuff and were not particularly good. And the adaptation of Child's Play 2, then an original 5-parter miniseries, and then an adaptation of Child's Play 3. I haven't read any of them, but I guess that's what I'm going to try to do in the meantime between movies, just so I can tell you what the feedback is, if there's anything to go by. Anyway, I'm kind of done. Like I said, I will chime in to mention about what this movie was in competition later. Next.
Jova.
Love this movie. It's a contender for my favorite Child's Play movie of the bunch. Can't speak for the series yet. I haven't seen that in full. But of the movies, Bride is a contender for my favorite. Like I said, Bride and Seed are probably my 2 favorite Child's Play films, essentially.
I'm guessing they're the ones you grew up with, considering the time period that they came out.
Actually, I'll admit... Oh, okay. I didn't particularly grow up seeing them, but yeah, Bride and Seed were the 2 Child's Play films I actually did see first, essentially. When I was old enough for that. They were the ones that interested me the most. Part of it did have to do with them being comedy horror, because, Horror's not my biggest genre here, but comedy horror is something that I do dig in that regard. That said, like Tio said, despite the genre typing, Bride and C do feel more so Bride definitely feels in line with the tone of Child's Play when we come to expect, but I do feel like them being more comfortable with the humor does work in this movie's strength, since look, it's the 4th movie by this point. You're allowed to snark. You're allowed to be aware of how some stuff goes, essentially. Even if part of me does consider that they might have actually been planning this to be the last Child's Play movie to end things on a high note. I do mention this because, as we've mentioned, it's weird that C took such a while to come out. Not to mention the fact that, okay, given how Tiffany wants to die in this movie, but pretty much doesn't want to die anywhere else, again, I do wonder if, like, originally that was the plan to end it there, but, well, when Steph did come back up, they went, well, screw it. We want to bring back Tiffany because she was popular, so screw it. She changed her mind. Although, like Tio suggested, maybe that was just her being in immense pain from being cooked alive in the oven to the point where she does legit just want to die and take Chucky down with her because that's how she loves him in her own twisted way, enough to stab him in the back. Truly, they were made for each other.
Oh,
But yeah, no, the jokes and the kills are both great in this movie. You know, as usual, you got your mix of absolute dickbags who deserve to die with the innocents who sadly do perish as well, to show that these are still the villains after all. But yeah, I will say this. Part of what makes these my favorite is definitely the addition of Tiffany, who, yeah, I mean, she's not just a Rule 63 of Chucky, but she truly feels like a companion for him in every sense. And it's a nice twist where we actually do see Chucky having to realize that, holy cow, he has fallen in love with this woman who we thought he didn't love. I mean, when you get down to it, the only reason he kills her is because she betrayed him first, essentially, stabbing him in the back while distracting him with a kiss. But yeah, it definitely plays its parody of Bride of Frankenstein relatively smoothly, right down to legit quoting the movie as well. Cute. But yeah, no, it's got that perfect balance of comedy and horror that I feel best defines Child's Play. Oh, and it helps that, you know, all of them land as well. Unlike that previous movie. Yeah, I'm gonna have to join the rest with saying that this was a mountain up from Child's Play 3. Like, and look, I'm not even gonna act like Child's Play 3 is like the worst movie ever, but I do feel like it's easy for me to call it the weakest installment of the entire franchise. Yes, that includes the reboot.
Well, Don agrees with you. In terms of not cutting the reboot, though, because Don doesn't like the reboot at all.
I don't know if, I don't know which one he dislikes more, but regardless, we can, yeah, it seems he agrees with me that Child's Play 3 was, Again, I will say this, I won't be against them maybe referencing it in the series by bringing back,
My biggest thing, I forgot if I mentioned in the commentary last year, Jova, my biggest thing is that the accident that is caused to a military school would be something that at least would be talking in the newspaper, and yet, I guess the movies act like nothing happened.
Like,
you know?
I mean, true, I mean, Andy
it was kept under wraps.
Don, I get the feeling too that Don really wants to forget that third.
And like also Jova said, I think the African American kid at least probably has a shot, you know, should have a shot at coming back, especially because, you know, he was supposed to be the next victim of Chucky, so he kind of has a bit of a connection to the franchise.
I will say this, I guess we can consider Chucky's chopped up and stitched together look to be fine. There's your Child's Play 3 reference, and it's like, that's the one thing they kept from that movie. Like, it's to the point where they even start to add in new rules or ways that they can possess people. Like, they really just don't want to reference 3 that much. Which, you know, in a sense, I get it. But, no. Regardless. Even without Child's Play 3 in mind, Bride of Chucky is still an intensely fun ride. It's one that I enjoy every time I watch it. And it did help set the stage for Seed of Chucky, which is another film I do like. But for now, Shiroi, why don't you give your thoughts?
Yeah, this is a really fun movie. I do agree that it made the, transition to more comedy horror better. There's still plenty of horror there, though, anyway. Tiffany is a great addition to the cast as somebody who's seen, like, up to the first season of the TV series by this point. So, but yeah, less about that for now. I think that's it. Everybody else pretty much covered it. It's a really funny movie.
Jay, did you forgot something? I heard you saying.
No, I just realized the whole I always come back from a doll-like serial killer that may or may not entirely be human. Now I know where Five Nights at Freddy's stole that from.
Just to mention before Pedro concludes us, because I found in the meantime the data, the movie did came out on October 16, 1998, so fair enough for the Halloween season. I cannot say if these two were a big factor of it, because this is an R-rated movie, and the two of them I'm about to talk about, the three actually were not. But it was kind of sandwiched in a bit of a season where people were more attracted to other stuff. Specifically, at the beginning of the movie, there was DreamWorks Ants. I'm basing myself just for the fact that these movies have grossed a lot, because even the one nearby did not, but Ants did. And then, not even a week after, it was basically struck down by a two-hit combo. Lion King 2 and the Italian Oscar bait movie by Roberto Benigni, Life is Beautiful, which did $230.1 million box office. So again, the idea, Chucky was kind of seen, Bride of Chucky was kind of seen in a more of a background spot released alongside a bunch of movies. I say this because around the same time also, Both Dreams May Come was released, a beautiful movie with Robin Williams in it, see if you have to, and it kind of suffered the same fate. But at least that's my guess. Pedro.
Yeah. Unlike other Chucky movies, I actually saw this one on VHS back in the day. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Definitely a return to form after the third movie. And yeah, Tiffany is a fantastic addition. And she's Jennifer Tilly plays the role perfectly, and I have no complaints. Like I said, I don't mind the more comedy or aspect because it's done really well. And anyway, for me personally, I think we can do both. I actually think, like the show demonstrated, you can do more comedy horror stuff, but you can also do more serious, dark stuff. Like the show likes to alternate from season to season, in doing that. And I think that's we can do both. We don't have to pick one or the other. We can alternate. And yeah, this is a really good return to form for the franchise. But that cliffhanger, though, that final scene, though, hey, Shiroi, looks like next time it's time to meet Glenn and Glenda.
I suppose.
I understood that reference.
Tune in next time for Seed of Chucky.
And then the monkey's paw Pedro is that it's like Rebel Moon Part 2, and it's constantly 130 of Chucky having to plant corn.
Oh shit, in slow motion?
Yes.